That was amazing, Charlie and Mike. Thank you so much. And thanks to Bob. I'll probably take you in a very, very different direction. Figuratively and literally. I'll take you to the Arctic North for a moment, where I was teaching an Inupiaq Eskimo tribe. The Inupiaqs are the Eskimos of the far north, and I was in a place called White Mountain. Land of no time. In a place of always light or always dark, in the Arctic North, there are no required hours, no hurry for the future, and little thought of the past. The present is one continuing moment. The body moves to natural rhythms, is fluid with seasons, living the way a river does, how it carries what comes to it, returns to land what it was tossed. Or think of it this way, choosing when to wake, when to sleep. Think of the summer when the sun is constant, all during the summer, when day ends, the light does not. And it is like that, living without a clock. You cannot schedule this part of the world. There is no passage of time, only change in the coming and going of moon, in the wind that blows freely from the cold outer edge of the world. On White Mountain, I'm going to read another White Mountain poem. It'll have reference to an Eskimo elder named Linky. And it's called Phrases Strong and Perfect. To the Eskimo, glances are actions. And of actions, they leave a bright trail to read. So that when two crows hit against the glass window where Linky was, she said, something has happened. She said nothing comes here without significance, that even the wind blows as God's breath, shaking the willows, taking its leaves. She said what I said, that even dust talks in long sentences of color. Everything that shifts moves, but not only for itself. Like the sun dropping a strong phrase of light on a child. Like a child giving a crow call, the same moment Linky sights the birds. This is what the cold has taught. How the world is of words though no one is speaking. How the days went as this day went, which has nothing to do with time. So I'm reading from my new book, Frozen Latitudes, and there's actually, it's a braided collection. There's two latitudes involved. The first is, well, there's not a first or second, it's a braid, but one is the literal frozen latitude of Alaska, and the other is more of a metaphorical latitude of the place in time where my father's life was frozen. He suffered brain damage, and just like Charlie and also Michael had their poems where they spoke of relatives with dementia, my father had that. So this is the other latitude. This is called Trash Day. This is how it really looked long ago. This is myself back in time. a girl with sallow skin dragging metal cans to the curb. Notice how I stand for a while that far from our house. Watch how my lips, bright as scars, are parting open with words so the great air can take them out of their mystery. See how my thoughts form the storms, how the morning sky fills with dark sentences. Always something about aphasia, his dementia. Something always about my father caught so quiet inside me that would rise in the wind to become something readable. I am only 14, but you can tell I look old, as if life is ending. Notice how my limbs droop so willow-like over the trash. See how the cans are all packed with food. No, I am starving myself. I am that full of my father. These are our neighbors, each turning in their sleep as they wake, each waking as they turn from their room to the window, watching the weather above them. And this is an image of the whole town in shock. See how they dread my gray, hovering grief. Just watch as they walk, how they carry on with the endless clouds I made weakly, correctly, so very awful and coming into their eyes. And the tiniest strand of this braid is some journey pieces. So maybe I would like to read one. This is a poem called The Rooms. I just returned from this place. It's in North Carolina. It's called Mountain Light Sanctuary. And the owner, Michael Lightweaver, has made these three-sided structures, very creative structures in the Pisgah Forest. It's a national park down there with beautiful creek running through. And I stayed in a stone structure called Frodo's, and it was made of field stones. And there were bamboo structures, and anyhow, this is called The Rooms. A road led to the water that ribboned the mountain. And not wanting to disturb a brook's rushing thoughts, I walked the rest of the way, softly, into other moments I wanted to see and hear. Beyond the rickety bridge and bamboo gate, the world turned clear, and the long distance to get there was gone, and ahead the green land glistened. Then, in the sunlight there, were small rooms, open, of three sides only, each facing the elements of ground and sky, each with a bed, candle or lamp, a bowl for cool water, but that was all. One room perched in the crook of a tree, another just over the water, while others were set in hollows or upon a bright spread of grass, as if the old earth had made them, this place. How could it be otherwise? How could it not be that later our own bodies would open with stars entering and night and the wind. Back to